Good morning, Wash Day. This is Lucky Loco coming at you with another story about this gentleman. His name's Kickapoo. Obviously, he's from the Kickapoo tribe. He's from Oklahoma. He's this tall, old native dude, man. He was always playing, when I met him, he's like, man, what tribe you from? And hit it off right away. That was my boy. He's all playing handball. He's always working out, and he's always gambling. I guess he was getting per caps or whatnot because he had money. You can tell when people have money in there. And I pull up to this prison. I go kick back. I'm lost. Not really lost. It's it was like my first couple weeks. Well, my first couple days actually. I'm feeling the place out. I see people I know. There was this dude, Jason Chin from Pueblo, Colorado, and him and his friends, they did a murder homicide, fucking robbery. And I see him in there. He testified against his cousin, and I'll get into that one later. But I see him in there. I don't have paperwork. And he sees me coming in. He was playing basketball, and he sees me come in there. And he's, like I said, I was known for hands. He's with a whole different crew. I believe he's like a Crip from Denver. They call him Little Trainiac. I didn't have the paperwork, so I couldn't say nothing, but I know about it. It was in the newspaper, everything. It's all, how word spreads, but I was already gamed up on how not to say anything without paperwork, because you could get yourself really, really hurt or even taken out. So I see him and he sees me, and I was like, oh shit, this month, I didn't know what to do. Like, should I, I remember that's not my problem, that's not my crew, so I have no business even speaking on him or even doing anything to him. And I had no paperwork, so I knew not to say anything. He sees me, he hits the button, he takes off. Look at, he was like in the middle of a basketball game. Takes off, he goes into, he goes back to the unit. He comes up and he was just like, oh, what's up, man? Hey, just trying to feel me out. And I was like, man, I got nothing to say to you. So he stopped talking. So, well, anyways, I get back to my friend. He's playing, but he sees that, and he was like, "Oh, what's up, Skin? What tribe you from, brother?" And I tell him, I'm Paquetry First Nation. I'm Hillsick Nation. He's like, "Man, my name's David, but they call me Kickapoo. I'm from the Kickapoo tribe." The big old smile, fucking huge dude. He was probably as big as Flacco. You know what I mean? Just tall. He's not lanky. He's got, you can tell he's got size on him. But he's like a big old gentle giant. At that moment he was anyways. So we get to talking, and he starts schooling me on the as time goes by, he's like, man, I see you hanging out with these northerners out here, and he's like, you've been coming to Sweat Lodge, we appreciate you, we love you, but I see you hanging out with these crews, and you know what they get into. And he goes, and you see all these Southerners in here. You're gonna have to know that you're living a real selfish. He was just breaking everything down, man. He was like any kind of stress or problems I'd tell him. So it was weird. It's like he always had a lot of knowledge of similar situations, and he was just like, it was like, you're living a real selfish life. You're living a real selfish life, and you're making real selfish choices because you're just thinking about yourself when you got your family, you got your kid. You said you have a kid that was just born. Well, that was my son Andy, and it's like you're living a real selfish life, and it's not good. He goes, let me tell you something. He goes, if these Southerners jump off and stab you, I'm gonna have to jump off and get them too. And then guess what? You got the whole crew of others, of natives, that are wanting to go home. And they want to go home. Everybody wants to go home. But you are putting us in a situation to where we have to ride for you. You have to, and I'm young. This is, thinking I'm doing something in prison. And he was like, you're going to have to make up the choice of what you want to do. I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing what you're doing. I understand. He goes, you see the big C that's burnt into my chest. He goes, he's like, I'm a Crip. He goes, but I don't, he goes, well, I'm in here. He goes, I hang with my people because this is who I am. I don't want to, and then he's explaining all this stuff to me. He's like, we all want to go home, but now that you're putting us all in a predicament to where if something happens to you, we all have to get involved, and we all have to make, if it comes to that, we're going to have to back you up, and we're going to have to put in work and catch new charges, or even, do the rest of our life because you chose to bang, and now you're our brother, native brother, and how are we going to look letting somebody just jump off on you or jump you? We're going to have to get involved. Now think about that. Because I have kids like you, I have family like you. I need to get back to Oklahoma. And I met this other dude. He's half native, or even part native, and Chicano. I call him Little Mex. And I know there's paperwork on him. I can't speak on it because I've never seen it, but I heard about it. He was a character. Me and him didn't get along too well. But a lot of the stuff he was saying was just, it really sunk in, and I kept going to ceremony. I kept going to Sweat Lodge because I was going to church, and I was praying. I was like, Lord Jesus, and, it just felt right going to ceremony with my people, with the Native Americans. And, I met some other people. This dude, James Myers, he's a Tlingit from Alaska. Tall native dude. He was super cool, man. Like anywhere I went, we were like, we're in the same unit. He was just down. He was a quiet, soft-spoken dude. But when the fucking on switch came on, he was loud, he was vicious, he was violent. When it came to it, he was down for his shit. And he was from caught his case out of Denver. Real cool dude, man. But yeah, David Rice, Kickapoo, out of Oklahoma City, he really brought a lot of light to the situations I'm in. And that really, and it's still embedded in my brain when I think about it. Like, sorry about the hair. It's morning, just finished dropping my wife off at work. It's still embedded in my brain, and it's true. Like, a lot of the stuff he said was true. And the Lakota ways, the Sweat Lodge, I'm Pakwachin First Nation. We're Longhouse people. We're smokehouse dancers. Our ceremonies are different than everyone has their own, like, all the one thing I'll bring up more about is our beliefs. Like, all Native Americans don't fall under one umbrella. We all got our own set ways. We got our own language. We got our tribes, and that's who we are. But like I said to Eagle Horse, or any of the Lakotas out there, is the Lakota Sioux, that they let us practice their ways. So sweat lodges. The one thing about me, I'm afraid of heat. It's weird, right? But it's one of my phobias. I don't like touching clothes out of the dryer. I don't like, and it's that type of heat that I don't like. Like when I walk past, like exhaust pipes while the cars are running and feel it on my leg. I don't know. I just don't like it. I get scared. So Sweat Lodge ceremony, if you've never been, it's a ceremony that we go into the Inipi and we go in there and sweat. And they put in these rocks and water over it. It gets really hot in there, but that's our way of giving back to the women. That's one thing about the Lakota ways, is that they have the ceremonies, they have the reasons, the directions, they have all this stuff that I'm learning as I keep going, and I'm just learning these good ways, the red road, and it made me step away from the gang, made me step away from it and started seeing the usury that's been used. I mean, I can't even really call myself a gang member at that time, because nobody was there to school us about the cause the way, I see Flocko, Gunner, and just all these different channels talk about, the Constitution. And I learned more just from watching the YouTube videos than I have as my career as a Norteño. Yeah, I'm on the res, so you can hear it all bumping around. But that's who really brought me away from the gangs, made me think about life in a different perspective, because I was an idiot, a torpedo, head first, fucking arm swinging. I was in it to win it, and to win what? It was to that I stepped away and really stopped hanging around with the Norteños that I was in the yard with on the yard I was at, and it was just didn't feel right anymore. When I watched Sir Dino talk about when he was saying, don't mind me, look, it's all bouncing around these big old potholes. Watching Sir Dino talking about how he prayed, and how when he's seen Southerners, he didn't think of them as enemies. He didn't have that hatred he used to have for them. And that's how I felt too. It was like, I just didn't have it in my heart to cause pain to somebody, it just, I don't know, I just knew prison wasn't for me, and I knew gangs weren't for me no more. I have friends that are still active. Actually, you know what? I don't even have friends that are still active. I don't even have friends anymore that are in that life, because I'm, a piece of trash to them. And that's fine. I understand. I totally understand. And sometimes you just gotta move on to life. I'd rather be out here with you guys than dead, because I already got shot up, I already got stabbed, I already got sent away. I have nothing else left to prove. But it was my friend David Rice that saved my life of the gangs, and I'm forever grateful for that. And I'll get into a couple more stories. I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm gonna go shower up and comb my hair. Like I said, I just had to jump out of bed and get my lady ready for her to take her to work. Well, I'm over here at the reservation, the Wapato, the Yakima Nation reservation, and I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, that's the story of my friend David Rice, Kickapoo. If you're still alive, man, praying for you. If you're gone to the quiet, happy hunting grounds, man. It was a great journey with you, brother.